This evening, we meet a Suamico woman with a passion for not your everyday animals.
Quite a collection around the house, and we're not talking about a house full of cats and dogs.
Lynne Peters' yard is filled with wild animals, and every single one of them are relying on her for a second chance at life. Fox 11's Angela Kelly shows us how she's making a difference.
It's okay, lovey. It's okay. Yes.
It's breakfast time at the Peters residence in Suamico, and a 3-week-old fawn hungrily gulps down a bottle of goat's milk.
He probably was only maybe 3 or 4 days old. He had the diarrhea real bad. He was actually in a seizure, and I didn't think he was going to make it, but he did.
Lynne Peters has been a volunteer for the Our Paws program at the Bay Beach Wildlife Sanctuary for 12 years. The program helps to rehabilitate orphaned and injured wildlife. Peters is one of 60 volunteers who have gone through extensive training with the program, training that legally allows them to care for wild animals at their homes. Those volunteers are a big help to the sanctuary, which last year alone took in nearly 5,000 animals in need of care.
These are all animals that are needing help. That most of the problems that they run into are caused by humans, either being hit by cars, flying into windows, some other habitat loss through human activity. So all our Lynne and all our volunteers help us just give back to nature from all the things that we take.
Peters' sprawling wooded property is an ideal setting for the animals she rehabilitates. Ducks and geese have access to the Suamico River that cuts through her backyard. Fawns have access to tree and plant life inside this spacious pen. When they are well enough to be released, Peters simply opens the gate, and from there, it's up to them to survive on their own.
When you release these animals, whether it's a squirrel in a nesting box and you see them come out, or I open the door and the fawns come out, and you know, you might lose some and you feel bad and you toughen up, but you just think of the ones that you did save.
Although Peters does receive some assistance from the sanctuary, she shoulders most of the expense for the care of the animals.
It's expensive. You do have to pay for all your cages, the housing, the food, the formulas.
And not every moment is as sweet as this.
It's okay. There's parasites, there's diarrhea, it can get nasty.
But she won't be stopping anytime soon. Peters attends classes and workshops regularly to further educate herself on how to properly care for wildlife. The most important thing she has learned is to never become too attached to the animals she loves to save.
It's a mindset. You have to think of that animal. Period. That you have to think of that animal, and no matter how cute it is and whatever, that animal doesn't want to be in your house.
But for the time being, these animals are still in need of some help.
Hey, you little boy. Hey, you little boy.
In just a few short weeks, this fawn will be well enough to be on his own. And it won't be long before this group of ducks and geese, which Peters has been caring for since they hatched, will be strong enough to fly. Mike Reed, director of the Bay Beach Wildlife Sanctuary, says Peters' work is crucial.
We certainly could not have raised all those animals with just the staff and facilities at the Wildlife Sanctuary. So without volunteers like Lynne, who have the perfect property, just the right setting, and are willing to take on all these obligations and rules about how to properly raise an animal, we wouldn't be able to provide this service to the wildlife of Wisconsin and to the citizens of this area.
And Peters is happy to know she's making a difference for the animals and for those who work so hard to protect them. In Suamico, Angela Kelly, Fox 11 News.